It was a beautiful evening. We were out flying and filming. I was following behind the NSX with the Air 2S. It was going to be a beautiful video. And then all of a sudden, my screen went blank and DJI Fly app informed me that my aircraft was no longer connected. As you can imagine, I kind of freaked out, activated the Find My Drone, saw where it was on the map, and went running for it. Got there, it was beat up, a couple propellers were missing, the rest of them were torn, the body was scratched, the gimbal was facing a really awkward direction. It was not a good situation. Essentially, neither myself nor the drone had ever seen those power lines coming. Lesson learned here, definitely scout the entire flight path for your flight, and also do not fly into the setting sun. It blinds humans and drones alike. So this was a horrible night. Got home, turned it back on, had a huge list of errors with the drone on the DJI Fly app. The gimbal wouldn't turn. All of our data was missing from our SD card. It was just not a good day. But I did have one good thing going for me. I had signed up for DJI Care Refresh, and it was a lifesaver. So what is DJI Care Refresh? Basically, it's DJI's in-house insurance for the body of the drone. So that includes the hull, like the physical drone, the battery, and also the propellers, the things that are in the air that can get damaged when they collide with other objects. Yeah, so how do you get it? First thing, easiest way, when you activate your drone, it gives you the option right away to sign up, and it gives you that for 48 hours. Easy peasy, done. If you miss that window, they do give you another option. You're allowed to record on your screen. There's a very specific set of things they have you do with the drone to show that it's still in functioning order. You submit that, DJI approves it, and you can sign up for DJI Care at that point. So what this is officially called is video verification, and they have a link here in the FAQ, but you can also just kind of search for it and you'll come across it. Basically what they're going to have you do is log in, and then they're going to bring you to this page that shows you some terms and conditions, some specific requests that they have as far as how to submit things. Don't edit your video. That kind of null and voids the whole purpose of their verification. And then they give you a video that shows you the steps. I started in the middle here because that's where it talks about the DJI Fly app. And they just show you the different things that you need to do. For me, I had this pulled up on a computer at the same time as I was recording with my phone and doing this through the drone. So it was a pretty easy process overall. And, you just get it done and they let you know in a couple days whether or not you're approved, and then you can purchase your DJI Care. That's actually what we did. It was about a week after we'd gotten our Air 2S because we hadn't realized what Care Refresh was until one of our YouTube friends mentioned it to us. So I'm very thankful for that. Now, the price on this, I think, is extremely reasonable. With this one, a one-year program for the Mini 2 is about $69. For the Air 2S, it's $99. For this one, we actually did the 2-year option, which was $169. The difference there is with the one-year program, you get 2 replacements, and with the 2-year program you get 3 replacements. And there's also a limited number of replacements for flyaways, and they also have a different deductible cost essentially, but you can find all those details based on which model you have because they're all a little different on the DJI website. I did do the math for our Air 2S. With the $169 initiation fee and the $119 per replacement for those 3 replacements, I would be at $526 if I used them all. It's a lot better than paying $999 to get one new drone off a shelf. So it's definitely worth it. Okay, now to the process of actually using your DJI Care Refresh. So you'll just go up to the top of the page to support, and then over to repair services and submit an online repair request. And once this page loads, it does kind of give you a visual of the overall process. And they also have a nice little brief FAQ here that kind of, reminds you of what the overall process is like, what the duration is for the process, and how you can check in on it and see what's happening. So if you submit the request, it's going to ask you where you are in the world, so it knows where to, generate your label and have you ship things. And then it'll pop up and it'll have your items listed that are already part of the DJI Care Refresh. As you move forward, it'll ask you details about what happened, which parts you're sending, what address you want it shipped back to, and you can then submit. But before you submit, they will also ask you if you want standard or express. So standard essentially means you fill out the form, DJI sends you a UPS label, you ship them your drone, they receive it, they analyze it, they look at the telemetry, they figure out what went wrong. If they determine it was the drone's error and it's under warranty, they'll just send you a new one. If they determine it was user error, they'll come back to you and say, here's the money you owe us, you pay them, they ship you a new one. Not a bad deal, but what I've heard is that can take several weeks. So what I did is I went with the express because, let's be honest, I knew it was my fault. Not much to be said there. So for the express option, what you do is you go in, you submit your request, you pay them that money right then. So I paid them the $119 for the new drone, and they sent me that shipping label for UPS. I think it was in my email in about 10 minutes. I dropped it off at UPS at 8 a.m. on a Thursday, watched its tracking, it arrived in a day or two, showed in DJI's dashboard that they had it, they had processed it, and that they were shipping me a new one. Of course, there's always that little delay for like 12 hours or whatever it is where DJI gave me a tracking number, but UPS didn't have it activated yet. So I was like, but finally UPS did pick it up and they brought it back to me, dropped it off on a Friday. So it was 8 days from the time that I shipped it off till the time I got it back, which I think is fantastic. In there, you're able to watch what they're doing. You can see your information as far as where they're shipping it back to. They're responsive by phone if you need to ask them a question. So overall, it was a wonderful experience, totally worth it. I highly recommend getting this program. There are other like drone insurances out there. A lot of them, from what I've seen, have been liability based, where they cover if you damage someone else's property. A lot of them don't come with hull coverage. Some of them you can add it on, but I think this is a really great deal, and you're getting exactly what you want from DJI. I mean, this thing showed up, it was wrapped in plastic, had the body, had the battery, had new propellers. I have nothing else to ask for. It worked right away. DJI automatically updates the serial number for the new drone into your DJI Care profile, so it's covered. You don't have to re-sign up for it. And I just think it's wonderful. So if you have any questions about this, guys, please feel free to reach out. Overall, it's pretty straightforward. Highly recommend it. I hope you never need it, but just don't fly into the setting sun and you'll be fine. Thanks for watching.